There was a time when HP was everywhere, on desks, in classrooms, powering businesses. Then, almost overnight, it looked like the company was falling apart. People thought it was the end of this billion-dollar company. But behind the headlines, something was shifting. Leadership was changing, bold moves were being made, and a quiet storm was building. What really happened? How does a company go from nearly collapsing to raking in billions once again? Stay tuned and hit the like and subscribe button because it might change your life forever. The arrival of Carly Fiorina, HP's founders, Bill Hewlett and David Packard, were once hailed as the pioneers of Silicon Valley. Their company dominated personal computing and printing, even working with Walt Disney in the 1940s to provide sound equipment for Fantasia. HP was a symbol of innovation, efficiency, and technical leadership. But by the late 1990s, cracks had begun to show. The company had grown bloated, with 83 different business units operating in silos, often duplicating efforts and prioritizing their agendas rather than working as a unified force. HP was also losing ground to competitors like Dell, IBM, and Apple. The company needed a leader who could cut through the inefficiencies and steer HP back toward dominance. Enter Carly Fiorina. Fiorina had made a name for herself as one of the most influential figures in corporate America. After climbing the ranks at AT&T, she spearheaded the spin-off of Lucent Technologies, leading one of the largest IPOs in history. In 1998, she was ranked #1 on Fortune's list of the 50 most powerful women in American business. Her reputation as a high-energy, results-driven executive caught HP's attention. In 1999, she was appointed as HP's CEO, the first woman to lead a Fortune 20 company. Her appointment was historic, but also unusual. Fiorina had never been a CEO before, yet she was stepping into one of the largest companies in the world, with immense expectations. Many saw her as the visionary leader HP needed, someone who could streamline operations, reinvigorate innovation, and reclaim HP's place at the top. Others were skeptical. Could she handle an organization of this scale? Fiorina wasted no time in making her mark. She pushed for a cultural shift, advocating a return to HP's roots, the so-called rules of the garage, a philosophy emphasizing bold innovation and agility. However, she was also pragmatic and unafraid of shaking things up. She streamlined HP's structure, consolidating the 83 business units into just a handful. While this improved efficiency on paper, it also sparked resistance among employees who were deeply attached to HP's traditional ways. But these changes were just the beginning. Fiorina was about to make an even bigger bet, one that would define her tenure and reshape HP's future. The controversial Compaq merger. A few years into her leadership, Fiorina announced HP's boldest move yet, a $25 billion merger with Compaq. It was one of the largest technology mergers ever attempted. The logic behind the move seemed sound. HP was strong in printing and software, but weak in personal computing, while Compaq was a dominant force in the PC market. The merger, Fiorina argued, would create a tech giant capable of competing with Dell and IBM. But not everyone was convinced. Critics argued that integrating two massive companies with different cultures and operations would be a nightmare. HP already had inefficiencies. Would absorbing Compaq only make things worse? Employees feared job cuts. Investors worried that the merger would dilute HP's strengths rather than enhance them. The fiercest opposition came from Walter Hewlett, son of HP's co-founder and a board member. He saw the merger as a betrayal of HP's founding principles. He believed it would destroy HP's unique culture and argued that it was a desperate move rather than a strategic one. A bitter proxy battle erupted. Board members clashed. Shareholders were divided. Fiorina, known for her hard-nosed approach, dismissed Hewlett's objections, calling him an out-of-touch academic. This only fueled the fire as internal conflicts spilled into the public eye. Despite the intense pushback, the merger was narrowly approved. Walter Hewlett even attempted to block it in court but failed. In 2002, HP and Compaq officially merged. Fiorina had won the battle, but would she win the war? The downfall of Carly Fiorina. Initially, the merger seemed successful. HP became the world's largest PC manufacturer. Fiorina boasted that HP's revenue had nearly doubled, from $42.4 billion in 1999 to $86.7 billion in 2005. But this was misleading. The increase in revenue wasn't due to organic growth. It was simply the result of combining HP and Compaq's numbers. In reality, the merger was a mess. Compaq had been struggling before the merger, and its problems now became HP's problems. Profit margins in the PC industry were razor-thin, and HP struggled to compete with Dell's lean, low-cost model. Meanwhile, HP's stock price tanked, dropping nearly 50% under Fiorina's leadership. Internally, Fiorina's leadership style alienated employees. She was demanding, often ruling with an iron fist. In one meeting, she reportedly told managers, "You will make your numbers. There will be no excuses. And if you can't make your numbers, I will find someone who can." The result was a culture of fear and resentment. Employees who had once loved working for HP were now deeply dissatisfied. An internal survey revealed a sharp decline in morale. HP had gone from being one of the best places to work to one of the most demoralized. Fiorina also announced massive layoffs, ultimately cutting over 30,000 jobs. HP was bleeding talent, and employee backlash reached a boiling point. By 2005, the board had had enough. HP's financial performance was disappointing, its market share was slipping, and morale was in shambles. Fiorina was forced to resign, but she didn't leave empty-handed. Her severance package was a staggering $42 million, a payout that outraged shareholders and led to lawsuits. As Fiorina exited, HP was left in turmoil. But its story was far from over. The turnaround under Mark Hurd. HP needed a new leader, someone who could clean up the mess and restore stability. Just 2 months later, the board appointed Mark Hurd as the new CEO. Unlike Fiorina, Hurd had extensive CEO experience. He had successfully turned around NCR, a struggling tech company, and was known for his disciplined, low-profile leadership style. One of his first moves was to reconnect with HP's core business. He spent time working at a Best Buy store to understand how customers viewed HP's products. This hands-on approach was a stark contrast to Fiorina's flashy, high-profile leadership. Under Hurd, HP launched a new marketing campaign. The computer is personal again. The company doubled down on affordable, consumer-friendly PCs, successfully competing with Dell and other rivals. Hurd also streamlined operations, but in a more structured way. He focused on execution, making sure cost savings and efficiencies translated into higher profits. But Hurd also made tough choices. Despite the layoffs under Fiorina, HP was still overstaffed. He cut another 14,500 jobs. However, unlike Fiorina, he acknowledged the impact of these layoffs, stating, "I don't want to forget we took 15,000 jobs out of the company and told a lot of employees to go home and tell their families that they no longer have jobs." Employees may not have liked it, but they respected his honesty. Under Hurd's leadership, HP's stock price more than doubled within a few years. By 2007, HP reached the $100 billion revenue mark for the first time in its history. The turnaround was complete. HP was no longer a sinking ship. It was thriving. The legacy of HP's rebirth. So, who really saved HP? Fiorina's instincts weren't entirely wrong. The Compaq merger did give HP a stronger position in the PC market. But her execution was disastrous. She failed to integrate the companies effectively, alienated employees, and ultimately drove HP into chaos. Mark Hurd, on the other hand, took the foundation laid by the merger and made it work. He focused on discipline, efficiency, and customer needs, things Fiorina had neglected. HP went from the brink of collapse to a billion-dollar powerhouse once again. But was it the bold risks or the disciplined execution that truly saved the company? Let us know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible business stories. Thanks for watching.